All right, well, let's get more now on this. We're joined by our political reporter, Aldrin Sampear. He's been in Nairobi tracking these elections for us. Aldrin, good afternoon to you once again. I mean, this is just a mere formality to announce Uhuru Kenyatta as the victor, despite millions not participating in the vote. But let's start with what the Deputy President, William Ruto, was saying, that there will be no rerun again.
Yeah, quite interesting hearing what he has to say about these elections and saying that there will be no rerun, specifically due to the negotiations that could be taking place between the government as well as Raila Odinga and the various frontrunners in these polls, and he's quite clear about that. But one thing that we have to take into consideration is that although the politicians are saying at least that there will be no rerun of the elections, it is the Supreme Court that will have the final say on that matter, and we know that there is at least one application to nullify these results, an application that came even before the elections were held, and that is an issue that needs to be looked into by the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court will take the final decision. William Ruto there speaking about an election could be held, but that election would only be held if there's a vote of no confidence in President Uhuru Kenyatta being done in Parliament, and this is something that has been reiterated by the General Secretary of the Jubilee Party, Mr. Tujo, yesterday as well, saying that that is the only way that there will be a rerun of the elections, and Raila Odinga is free to participate in those polls.
All right, will Raila Odinga meet with Kenyatta at all? Will there be some kind of dialogue to try and settle this outside of the courts?
It's still not clear at this point how they will settle this matter. The court application that is there is a court application that has been brought by an individual. It has not been brought by NASA itself, and Raila Odinga indicated yesterday that there's no need to go to court, at least from his side. He won't be heading to court, and we wait, of course, for NASA to make the announcement around how their resistance movement will try and put pressure on government to have a rerun of these elections within 90 days. There is an opportunity for dialogue, but that opportunity for dialogue is not an opportunity to speak about a coalition government. The Tuju, the General Secretary of the Jubilee Party, yesterday as well, was clear, saying that there will not be a coalition government as happened back in after the 2007-2008 elections. They're quite clear that Uhuru Kenyatta has a mandate, even though the turnout of the registered electorate is less than 50% of those who have registered.
All right, let's look at the country itself. I mean, extremely polarized following these elections, and their equivalent of our matric students are set to be writing exams. How will this be affecting them, do you think?
Well, this has been an headache, at least for this country. 1 million pupils will be participating in those final exams, and the minister speaking earlier on to Sarah Kimani indicating that all preparations are underway for the final exams. They do not expect that there will be any violent protest or disruptions to the exams, and hope that the exams will go ahead without any disruptions. However, though, one could say that this is probably government paying lip service, considering that there is this level of anticipation, at least from the security side, where security is expected to be heightened after the results announcement. When we spoke to the spokesperson of President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday, he indicated that there is a security detail that has been put in place. Not too sure at this point what the contingency plans would be to ensure that these elections go ahead without any violent protests, and whether the residents in these four counties who now know that they will not be participating in these elections at all, some of them have said that they do not want to participate in these elections, how they will respond to the declaration that Uhuru Kenyatta is the President-elect of Kenya.
All right, Aldrin, thanks so much. For now, we'll leave it there. Aldrin Sampear live from the Results Centre in Nairobi.